You had such a health scare and a crazy story.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you were.
42 when this happened.
When this happened. Mm-hmm. You had a heart problem.
They go, well, your LAD, or they call it the Widowmaker. Your left big juicy artery is really blocked.
Wow.
So then they go, we can do a simple double bypass. And I'm going to do it in a hospital in Northern California because they told me the best surgeon in the world was there.
Okay.
I'd had a private jet going to take me to Cedars. It was in the sky.
Right.
And I canceled it. So I had a doctor who had a really bad day, and he missed the giant artery.
Oh.
So it's like trying to attach a fire hose to a tree trunk, and you just hit a little branch instead. So it didn't damage me, but it didn't fix it.
Wow.
So then I found out, and then they stented that one big artery. I had it checked a year ago. It's wide open.
Wow,
good.
that's great.
Thank goodness.
But then you had to sue the hospital too because
the guy said, looks good to me.
Right.
And so that's the part of me. In retrospect, should I have sued him? Because then I became the infirm guy for years because I was naive. I'd been, I'd done the movies had bombed, the show with Louis and Robert Smigel and Carell. So I was sort of like, I'm off the radar. And I go, I'll be Jimmy Stewart. I grew up with you can't do that to me.
Right.
Because what about the next guy?
How could he get the wrong artery? And you said, I'm going to teach them a lesson.
Well, I just want them to be accountable.
Right.
So we have to go to court. So we're in San Francisco court. And then we come out, my wife and I, and there's all this press there. And then there's People magazine says, we'd like to put you on the cover. And I'm naive. This is 97 or something. I go, no, thank you.
Right.
They go, no, we're putting you on the cover. So here's how it's settled, which I found interesting. So we're going through the trial, and they blame it on me. He's got crazy anatomy, which was just ridiculous.
Oh, you're wrong.
You're not
them.
human.
Just ridiculous. So then there's this little guy with glasses at every day in court. So a woman from 2020, Stone Phillips. I said, who's that guy? She goes, that's the insurance company for the doctor. I go, do me a favor, during the next break, go up to him and say, I'm from 2020, and we'd like to do a story about your insurance company.
Yeah.
So she comes back after the break, honest to God, goes, I talked to him. I told him that. Oh, wow. 5 minutes later, my lawyer comes up and said they settled.
Wow.
That's all.
Oh,
it's
that
all
is terrible.
follow the insurance. And then their defense was that I was doing it to get money, but I had a lot of money. Anyway, so we were able to
You donated all the money to charity.
Yes, heart disease, and then we built a town in Musoma in eastern Tanzania. We built a village, basically.
Wow, that's really nice
for
of
AIDS
you.
orphans and stuff.
While you were in the hospital with this heart problem, Frank Sinatra's in the next room or something, right? Like right there.
When I found out the wrong artery, I found out at Cedars because I connected with PK Shaw at Cedars, and Frank came in that night.
And Frank died, right?
And he died that night. Yeah.
Wow.
And you were there for it
And I
all.
was there. Essentially, Frank Sinatra died in my arms.
Wow.
And 2 weeks later, the Phil Hartman, Bren Hartman
Oh, dear.
tragedy. So I was kind of in a zombie space at that point.